Here we have the current stock market update for NVIDIA Corporation, stock ticker NVDA. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comments section so that other traders will be able to find this information more easily on the platform. So as we can see currently, what we're looking at here is the 30-minute price chart. Each candle on this price chart represents a 30-minute trading period. And here we can see that the share price itself is having a bit of trouble overcoming this $120 barrier that we have been watching for this stock here for some time. So in this video, what we're going to be doing is outlining some important support and resistance levels, some important price zones, which can hopefully be used to devise and strategize for this stock going forward. So as we can see here, as I said, we're starting to see some difficulty for the stock in overcoming this $120 handle. Most recently, the near-term high comes in right around 119.66, and share prices did actually close just above the 116 level. This is very important because what we've been watching for this stock is the potential formation of a large head and shoulders pattern that seems to be occurring at the moment. The ultimate price projection for a pattern like this would be fairly extreme. So if you're bullish on this stock, this is not the type of thing that you would want to see unfold. So, currently I'll just sort of re-summarize here. The left shoulder of the pattern comes in right around 120.16, as we can see here. The head of the pattern would come in right around 131.26. This would be the prior price high from August 26. And then more recently, we can see share prices coming into resistance right around 120.80. So, as long as this 120.80 level holds, this is a bit ominous because what this does suggest here is that we could start to see some failures. And if we did see a break below this neckline at 195, that would ultimately give us a price projection that, believe it or not, would come in right around the $70 mark. So that would be a very extreme movement to the downside. I'm not necessarily saying that we're going to be seeing this, but this is what currently is starting to develop here. I don't think that we've really seen a confirmation of this just yet. We're sort of in the early phases of something like that, but we do need to sort of remain watchful of this type of event because what we're already seeing here, is a series of failures that has been found just below the $120 mark. So if we're not able to reclaim that handle 120, we have to still contend with the fact that there is a head and shoulders pattern that is starting to develop here. Ultimately, if we did see a break of this 120.80 level, the next upside target would then be found at 131.26, which would be that prior price high. But there's still a lot of wood to chop here before we need to get to before we would be able to get to that point. And this weekly close on Friday it is a bit discouraging here because we're on the verge at this point of breaking back below this exponential moving average cluster. We haven't quite done that yet either, but we're sort of on the verge of that type of break. So currently, the main support level to watch comes in at 113.24. This would be this level here, this price level here. Ultimately, that's the price low from September 18, and that's significant because what we did see previously was a price low coming in at 114.35. So what is unfolding here? We've got a series of lower lows here and a series of lower highs. Depending on the trading perspective that you're looking at here, the charting time frame, there are some conflicting signals at the moment because we're starting to see breakouts, short-term breakouts in two different directions. I mean, if I were to move down to the shorter-term time frames here, this price history here would start to become more apparent because what we saw previously was a break of this 116.78 resistance level coming into 119.66, which is a bullish breakout. So on the shorter-term time frames, this price chart might actually look more bullish. But if we pull out here a bit, people say when in doubt, zoom out. That does give us a little bit more information here because what we're actually seeing here is the development of lower highs from 120.80 roughly to 119.66. So as things currently stand, if I did see a break below this 113 level, you could then start to suggest that a shorter term top is in place right around this 120.80 mark, and then longer term, what you have to contend with here would be the potential for a major breakout to the downside. This 119, this $100.95 level would really need to hold at that point in order to keep this price pattern from sort of triggering itself. You do need to see a break of the neckline in order for that. In order for the price pattern to become completely valid, and we're still quite a ways away from there. I mean, we would need to see share prices drop roughly $17 to get to that point, but that would be a fairly substantial move on its own. And then if we did start to see, some major momentum that started to build up, that could be ominous for this stock here going forward. So I'm not saying that I necessarily expect this to happen. Because these would be very significant price movements. But this is something that we need to remain watchful for. As things currently are seen on the indicator readings. The majority of the evidence here is bullish. What we're starting to see is the development of a near-term uptrend in share price momentum that has been in place since roughly the 3rd of September. And then these highs on the indicator reading are roughly similar. I mean, you can see a little bit of downside price movement here, but not much. So, I wouldn't really point to this as being a significant level of momentum. Certainly not one that should be capable of sending share prices $17 lower and then causing a potential break of this long-term support level at 195. But if we did see a break of this uptrend momentum here, that would sort of open the scope then for the development of some stronger downside momentum. So these indicator readings are also something that are going to need to be watched. So, finally, just to take a step back here and look at what's going on in the broader picture. We have to remain aware of the fact that we're seeing a series of lower highs here. This is sort of looking a bit like the Broadcom chart as well. I recommend people take a look at that video. I've also released that video today. But what we're seeing there as well is a small difference here in the share price highs that have been generated. So in this case, it would be 140.76 to 136 to 131, and now possibly to 120.80. So that's a series of lower highs here, and if we start to see a break of ultimately of this $100.95 level, that would be a very ominous signal for this stock. So here's the current stock market update for NVIDIA Corporation, stock ticker NVDA. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.